Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet one of the top lawyers in North Texas. His story just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I'm impressed with lawyers, especially those people who climb to the top of their field. And in studio right now is one of those people, Javier Perez. He joins us in studio. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Jeff. Glad to be here.
Very cool. So you have your own firm, and you're also of counsel with Crane Brogdon.
That's right. That's right. So I've got my own practice where we specialize in employment law. And then we're also doing very high-level catastrophic injury cases with Crane Brogdon as well.
Awesome. Well, I love to hear everybody's journey. So how did this start for you? I mean, as a little kid, did you want to be a lawyer?
In some sense. So my parents grew up as migrant farm workers and ended up being kind of the first in our family to go to college where they met. And then I grew up as they kind of finished their studies. Both ended up getting PhD degrees and always impressed upon me the value of education, the importance of education. But it was really more kind of watching Law and Order with my mom that really kind of instilled in me like, hey, you can do something that's actually pretty fun and meaningful with these skills that we've got. My dad was an English professor, so all of that kind of the power of language was part of my upbringing, and really enjoy getting to do what I get to do every day.
And it's just like Law and Order, where everything's solved in less than an hour.
That's right. That's right. That's really panned out, actually. So,
yeah. So you're one of the people that the media turns to, and we got some video of you on the screen. I know you're a frequent guest of Telemundo and Univision. Is it nice to kind of educate the viewer through the media?
It's an incredible experience to be able to serve that role, because your rights and your kind of legal options are not always at your fingertips, and so helping the public understand kind of what they ought to be looking for and how they can kind of really take advantage and use the legal system is something I have great honor in doing, and I know is really important.
And you just had a major victory in July. Will you tell people about that one?
Sure. So we had a $298,000 jury verdict in a sexual harassment case in Dallas County. I represent 4 waitresses at a local restaurant who were just treated very, very poorly, abusively in the workplace, and just the experience of telling their stories to the jury that understood the kind of the power of that experience, the power of the courts to vindicate themselves. I mean, when the verdict came out, it was very, very emotional, and just the relief after like 5 years of litigation to have that case come out that way was just an incredible experience.
Yeah, and I know you're very active with the Dallas Bar and the Hispanic Bar. Let's talk about the Hispanic community. Do you find that many people in the Hispanic community don't know that they have these rights and don't know that they might have a case that they need to approach you on?
Yeah, I think often what we find when people finally do reach us is that they know they're hurting. They're hurting in one way or another, and they don't know what to do about it. And that's the trust that they place in their attorneys. And so take that responsibility very seriously. But just kind of, that's the function of the media piece as well, is to educate the public about the resources that are available through our firms and others to really kind of make a difference in their lives that otherwise they're not going to be able to achieve.
Sure. You are a guest on my show, but you're also a really good host. So we found this video, and I want you to explain what we're watching here, because you're representing the Dallas Bar in this video. And who were you interviewing?
So I was interviewing Judge Irma Ramirez, who was just recently appointed to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, which is the federal appellate court just below the Supreme Court over this part of the country. She's been a Dallas federal magistrate judge for a while, and I had the honor to interview her for the Dallas Bar Living Legends series, which was an incredible opportunity to hear her story kind of beginning to end, learn about kind of the challenges that she's faced, and really, someone that I very much admire to learn and share her story with the broader community.
That's really cool. I know your specialties are employment law and catastrophic personal injury.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the employment law cases. Sexual harassment would be an example of one.
That's correct. So sexual harassment is, as we know, a big issue has been and very much these days. We've got, when people get fired from their jobs, there are all sorts of rights that they may have if the termination itself was improper. And then, we've got another big area is disability discrimination, where people have conditions which require accommodation in the workplace. We definitely saw a lot of kind of complications with that during COVID. But all of that requires great expertise, and really worked hard to be able to provide that to our clients.
Sure. And Texas is famously a right-to-work state, but I think many employers think that means I can fire you because I don't like the color of your shirt. And there's rights. Employees have rights.
That's true. So there are all sorts of rights that apply to those sorts of decisions. And are you treating this person the same as you're treating that person when you're enforcing a rule or disciplining them? So it really can be kind of a thorny area where you need an attorney to help you navigate that, both as an employer and as an employee. But it's something that we take great pride in being good at.
Okay, in the final minute or two, if somebody's watching this and say, "Man, I think I just found my attorney," what is the process like? They contact your office?
That's right. So you can give us a call, reach out to us through the website. And we will have someone visit with you about your situation, get the particulars so that we can kind of make a call. That information is brought to me directly. We review it and let you know what we think we may be able to do for you. We can't help everyone, unfortunately, because the law is what it is, but we certainly try to steer people in the right direction, whether we're able to take them on or refer them to another source.
Oh, outstanding. We're going to end with two websites. First, your law firm. It's JavierPerezLaw.com. And then finally, the law firm that you're of counsel with, which is CraneBrogdon.com. Javier Perez, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.